Hello, and welcome to my review of Quentin Tarantino's ninth film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. For those who are not initiated or not following this film, it's about Leonardo DiCaprio's aging actor Rick Dalton and his stunt double Cliff Booth, played by Brad Pitt, with Margot Robbie playing the real-life Sharon Tate. Now I'm going to start off with the good about the film. Acting-wise, there's not a bad actor in this film. Leonardo DiCaprio brings his classic narcissism that he brought from Wolf of Wall Street into Rick Dalton. He is an actor who thinks his star is falling. He's trying anything he can to make it big again in Hollywood. He's an actor, a TV actor, he's trying to make it into movies. Brad Pitt plays a stunt double Cliff Booth, who's just a all-around like silent badass. So Brad Pitt has played plenty of those, so you can't go wrong there. Margot Robbie, Sharon Tate, she brings like an innocent charm to her. As Rick Dalton's star is falling, hers is on the rise. She goes to movies, her own movies, and gauges the audience's reaction to her films because she still doesn't realize she's a famous actress. You know, she's still trying to get people. She doesn't realize people like her, so she's gonna see, do they really like me or what? Directing. Classic Quentin Tarantino. This one feels a little more like personal. Instead of like wider shots, everything's like framed. This is about Hollywood, so it makes a little more sense that these actors are playing other actors are in more framed shots. So instead of like sweeping shots or quick zooms, like you have these close personal shots that linger or follow a character as they go about their day. There's not a lot of gunfights, so you wouldn't have all those zooms and quick cuts, stuff like that. So it makes a little more sense. With the writing, you kind of feel like Quentin Tarantino matured a little more as far as writing. Instead of like the quick banter and snappy banter from like Reservoir Dogs, we're talking about the meaning behind Like a Virgin by Madonna or Pulp Fiction, when they're discussing like different aspects of TV, music, or like an actress and you shoot a guy in the face. Like, you don't have that type of dialogue here. But it's still classic Quentin Tarantino, where it's witty and it's clever, but not pop culture heavy. It's more about maturity, life, how to navigate your life, how to circumvent your career to keep it going, your dying star. But it's still, I don't know how he makes it clever and witty, but it's Quentin Tarantino. This film is 2.5 hours long, so before you go in, you need to decide if you want to commit to that. It's not a slog like a certain film that came out this year, Midsummer. Things are always happening. Within the 2.5 hours, somehow there's always something happening, the next step, and there's not a long beat between each step. So something will happen, it will be interesting, and then another thing will happen. So you're not bored. You never get bored. And it's not, things are not happening for the sake of happening. It's an actual story that you feel organic, that these things actually will happen. These are real people living real lives. So it helps. It doesn't slow the film down. It helps the pacing. If there's anything negative to say about the film, which there's not a lot of negative things to say about it, it's the lack of a big standout character. By that I mean you have Michael Madsen's Mr. Blonde in Reservoir Dogs. You have Samuel Jackson's character Jules from Pulp Fiction. You have Colonel Hans Landa from Inglourious Basterds. These are characters you were like, they're getting nominated for an Oscar. They're winning awards. They're talked about. You don't have that same thing here. There was a big buzz about Margot Robbie coming off her win of I, Tonya, her Oscar win of I, Tonya, being cast as Sharon Tate. You're like, they're going to give her a lot of roles to play. This is a real life actress. It's an actress playing a real life actress. You're like, they're going to give her something to do, something to say. She's in the film about 10 minutes. Dialogue wise, less than a page. I don't know why they did that. And there was a big thing about Charles Manson being cast in this film. 2 scenes. He's in it for 2 scenes and says 8 words of dialogue, honestly. But those are not big negatives. These aren't things that are going to detract from the film. They're not going to stop people from seeing it. But the big thing about this film, the big thing people are talking about, is the ending. It will be very divisive. It will polarize. It has polarized the audience, and it probably will polarize a lot of people that will see it. Personally, I'm on the side that love the ending. I know people who hate that ending, who think it is the dumbest ending ever made for the sake of being made. I loved it. I think it's one of the best endings for a film I've seen in a long time. Whether you like it or not will come down to what you know will happen and is supposed to happen versus what you want to happen. There is a big thing about that. So when you see it, just be aware of that ending, which could decide whether you like the film or not. With that being said, I think it's a good film. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. I recommend going to see it this weekend. Do not take your kids. Quentin Tarantino film. A lot of F words, a lot of cussing. There is some violence, and there's a little bit of nudity, so don't take your kids. Take a friend or a family. So, thank you for watching my review. Like and subscribe. You have any questions or comments or any constructive criticism, please leave them in the comments below. Next week I will try to review Shaw and Hobbs. The schedule might work, might not. Thank you for watching and have a good day.